guys, welcome back to a new video and welcome to another day of Bookmas. In today's video we're going to be trying to finish off or at least read some of the books on my 24th 2024 TBR. This is a TBR that I made at the very end of last year before going into 2024 of 24 books that I wanted to read this year. I'm going to do like a little graphic and stuff on the screen to depict it a little bit better than me just running through all of the books. But so far I've actually read 8 of them, so I haven't done that well. But looking back on the TBR that I created, a lot of the books aren't on my radar anymore or aren't a priority. I just feel like my reading style has massively changed since the start of the year. I used to just mainly read romance with a little bit of fantasy and literary fiction, whereas it's the other way around now. I mainly read fantasy and literary fiction and now just have sides of romance in there. So it's definitely changed a lot, but I still wanted to try and read some more of the books that were on my list. So I'm going to have a bit of a mood read this week and just go with what I feel like reading. But the first book that we're going to be reading in today's video is Bunny. So I have heard mixed reviews about this, but it is more of a literary fiction read, so it still does suit the style of reading that I like to do now. I've heard mixed reviews, so I kind of wanted to just go in blind and give my own opinion on it. I think someone actually said it's more of like a thriller / horror literary fiction, which I didn't know until recently. People have said it's kind of like being in a fever dream while you're reading it, so I'm going to give it a go and I'll come back and obviously give thoughts and stuff throughout the week. But yeah, we're going to read this one first. I'm going to aim to read 2 off of my list just because I've got other stuff going on this week and other videos to film for Bookmas. So we're going to try and read 2 and get 2 more ticked off the list, and then at least we've read 10 out of the 24, which is still not brilliant, but nearly halfway there. So yeah, we'll see how many we can get done, but I'm aiming for 2. I'll just decide later on after I've read this one which one I want to go for next. I am going to be making another list for 2025 and being more conscious of my priorities and stuff now. Obviously you can't help that reading style change, but I feel like I've really found the niche of reading that I really enjoy now, so hopefully next year will be more successful. I'm also going to have a reading journal, so I should hopefully be more conscious of what I'm reading each month, and I have a page to refer back to then of the books that I picked for 2025. Let me know what you guys are picking. I will do a whole video on like the 25 books that I've picked as my priorities for next year. But yeah, let me know what you guys are reading, and I am now going to go and carry on with reading this, or starting this. Interesting. It's not too long, I don't think, but I don't want to know anything about it. I just literally want to go in blind and enjoy the experience. So I think I'm actually going to have to soft DNF this one for now, because the words are just not computing up here at this current moment in time. Instead, I've been reading The Infinity Between Us, which I do have the book of, but I've actually been reading it on my Kindle because it's on Kindle Unlimited, and I'm really enjoying that one so far. So I've actually got about 55% of the way through, and it's so quick paced, it's really enjoyable, and I like that it's holding like past and present tense. It's very similar to Every Summer After, so we're just trying to wait to uncover what happened between our 2 characters in the past that then led them to not talking in the present. So I'm intrigued to know where we're going with that one, but I'm going to continue that one today. And then I think the other book I'm going to read is Practice Makes Perfect by Sarah Adams, because now I've picked up a romance, I'm kind of like, oh, I might read another romance, and just I want like an easy breezy read. I don't want too much to be thinking about, and a lot of my other books are really long, so I'm thinking maybe Practice Makes Perfect, as that one's very short and I really enjoyed the first book in the series, so I think maybe that one for the next one. I'm still reading The Infinity Between Us. I'm going to aim to finish that today because it said I have like an hour and a half left to read in the book, so that's very much doable. It's a very short book, so it doesn't take me very long to read it, but I'm going to continue reading that today as I'm really enjoying the story so far, and I'll come back with some more updates as and when really, but I'm really enjoying it. I really liked Every Summer After by Carly Fortune, so any book that kind of is a similar style to that I am going to love. To come on to this vlog and give an update because I've finished The Infinity Between Us. I finished that maybe about 2 days ago and I actually really enjoyed it. I still think I preferred Every Summer After. Like, I've never found a book that's that similar style that I preferred more than Every Summer After. I just really enjoyed that book, even though there was a crazy ending. But anyway, I don't know what rating to give Infinity Between Us, to be honest. I'm thinking I might land on a 3.75, maybe 4-star, maybe. I don't know. I feel like obviously when we uncovered the stuff that happened between their families, that it was then like the ending and all that sort of stuff was a little bit rushed and not everything was resolved, in my opinion, but I still enjoyed the story and the concept of like in the past and present tense. So I'm thinking maybe a 3.75, to be honest. I'm struggling on rating books at the moment, so yeah, bear with me on that. Then I ended up picking up Practice Makes Perfect. So I'm currently 106 pages into this book and I'm really enjoying it so far. So I really liked When in Rome, but I think I'm already preferring this one. Just, it's very rom-commy and the banter between the characters is good. Like, I've actually been laughing at the book, which I didn't think I would do that, but yeah, laughing at words on paper. Yeah, so I'm actually really enjoying this one so far. I think I'm gonna literally binge through it, to be honest. But it follows Will. So if you've read When in Rome, we follow Amelia, who's a pop star. So Will is her bodyguard. So he is basically back in the small town of Rome, Kentucky, to be a bodyguard for Amelia again. So she's about to get married to Noah, who was obviously our male main character in the first book. So we're following Will, who has come back into town to watch out for Amelia, be her bodyguard again up until the wedding. And then we follow Annie, who is Noah from the first book. It's his sister. Annie basically is struggling with her dating life. She's trying to find like a serious relationship and she's struggling. She doesn't have much dating experience and any dates that she go on is kind of going bad. So she then kind of gets stitched up and she ends up having Will as her dating coach. So he's kind of viewed as like this playboy. He doesn't want to do any relationships. He doesn't believe in relationships. So they're very opposite. Obviously Annie wants to get married and have a serious relationship and Will doesn't want a relationship whatsoever. So basically he is deemed the perfect person to be in this role because they're like, well, we're not going to get together because we have the opposite views. Like, I don't want to, he's like, I don't want to be in a relationship. She's like, well, I do, so we're never going to be together. You're literally the perfect person to be my dating coach. So that's literally, he's teaching her to date and that's where I've got up to. So I'm going to carry on reading it. I'm really enjoying it so far. And I wanted to read this one anyway before the start of next year because the third book in the series, I believe it's coming out in January. I could be wrong on the date, but I know it's definitely coming out next year. I do believe the first part of next year. I do think it is January, but I'm not sure. And it follows their sister. So basically we're just following like a sibling group in each of the books. But yeah, I'm excited to read that one. So, but I obviously wanted to read this one first, and it was also on my 24th 2024 TBR, so that worked out quite well. And the books are just so bingeable. I really like Sarah Adams' writing. I do prefer this series to the cheat sheet and rule book series. I don't know what that series is called. Still enjoyed those books as well. Like, all of her books are just so fast to read. So yeah, I'm really enjoying this one, and I'm going to carry on reading it now and just kind of chill out for the evening. I don't have any plans today. I do have plans tomorrow, so I kind of want to finish the book today because if I get most of the way through and then I don't get to read it tomorrow, I'm going to be well upset. So yeah, I kind of want to just finish this off today and yeah, see where we get to with it. But I think I'm going to enjoy it, to be honest, from what's going on so far and the fact that I am actually finding it so funny and I would love to watch this. It would literally just be a typical rom-com, but I still would want to watch it in a film. It's just, yeah, making me laugh so far. here and do an update for this vlog. Like I said, I started Practice Makes Perfect and I binged the whole thing. I literally binged the whole thing last night. I literally couldn't put this book down. It was so funny. I was actually giggling to myself throughout the whole book. Like, just their little nicknames for each other when like they were winding each other up, and just little jokes and stuff they had. They were just really funny, and I actually preferred this one more to When in Rome. I think I'm gonna give this one like 4.5, 4.75 maybe. Really enjoyed it. It went really, really fast. So like I said, like, Will is Amelia's bodyguard, so he comes back to town, is kind of like being her bodyguard again up until her wedding. And then Annie, who is Noah's brother from the first book, she asks Will, or is put with Will, for Will to be her dating coach. And he like teaches her how to go on dates and all the like ins and outs of dating and that sort of thing. It's really cute. It's really funny. It's so rom-commy and it was great. I wish I'd have read this sooner, but I'm glad we got to read it together in a video, so very much enjoyed this book. Those are all the books that we're going to read in today's video. I'm glad I got 2 more ticked off my 24th 2024 TBR. I don't know if I'm going to read any more off of that list now up until the end of the year, because I have some other books to read for Bookmas and just other books on my December TBR and just on my radar before the end of the year, so I'm not sure whether I'm actually going to get around to reading any more off that list. But some of them can be read next year, and to be honest, some of them are just really not on my radar anymore because I've just changed my reading taste and stuff. So a lot of them, or some of them, just aren't a priority for me, or some of them should have been read in like the summer months. I feel with certain romances, like I think 28 Summers was on my list and like summer reading, they both should have just been read in the summer, but I didn't do it. I had a very busy summer with work. So thank you so much for watching today's video, and I'll see you tomorrow for another day of Bookmas.